The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
It's time!
Welcome back to another Q&A night with yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. So, if you don't know who I am Tech Coach Ralph, and we will be going through this Q&A night, but it is a special Q&A night because it is our Cybersecurity Week. We will be joining Socks at the top. Is that the top or the bottom? The top of the hour, right? At 8 p.m. we're going to be joining Socks, and we will be going through our cybersecurity questions. We're going to be demoing a little bit of Socks University and giving some more details about that. So we have a whole night in store for you. So tune in, and I'll mention it now, and I will once we join Socks, I'll mention it again. We are going to be looking for some initial beta testers for Socks University. We plan on having the full launch in a few weeks, but we're looking for some beta testers. I see someone in the chat already who is a great candidate, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. So, and in order to be considered for a beta tester, you will have to comment in the chat, and then you send us an email and let us know your name in the chat, and we'll work that out. All right, but we'll get into some more details about that as when we join the Socks. So let's get started with the pre-show. I like to call it the pre-show, the pregame. You know, let's get into our agenda real quick, and then I will address the chat and all. You know, let's get us warmed up. You know, let's get us warmed up. Because, you know, like, you can't just jump straight into these cybersecurity questions, because you gotta warm up. You know, when you're exercising, you gotta warm up and stuff like that. So let's get into it real quick. All right. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you to all of the newest subscribers, and thank you especially to all of the current, like the people who have been subscribed for a while. I really, really appreciate you all.
I appreciate you.
You guys are amazing. And thank you for everyone who leaves me a comment on the videos, giving feedback, giving thoughts, asking questions. I love it, right? I love interacting with you. And I want to say, give a special shout out to my tech barbarians who are working so hard, who are actually putting together an application, learning how to do software testing, working on UI, UX design, video editing. We're doing so much, and I structure my coaching to each person so that I can find what best fits their needs and what route to go on. And I'll have a little story about it as we get into it before we join Socks. I have a little story about it that I want to share with you about boot camps and stuff like that. But we'll get into it. All right. So shout out to the Tech Barbarians. Check out the Patreon at www.techcoachralph.dev, and you can sign up for one-on-one coaching. You can just sign up for the information that's in there. You can check it out there. All right. So now, if you haven't done so yet, if you're new to the channel, or maybe you're not new, right, I would like you to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live, like the video, share the video, all of that good stuff. And like I said, check out the Patreon. I'm sure there's something that can help you. Level up your technical skills and get to the next level, right? Because although I am primarily in QA, I work with all types of people in the tech industry, from Scrum Masters to product managers, product owners, project managers, as well as product managers, software developers, you name it. I work with them, right? So check it out, and we can get to work that way, and you can level up your skills and keep it moving, all right? Next up, we are going to get into our live show schedule. So we have Sunday afternoons, software explorations. We are currently working through Terraform, and we are learning a lot. We are getting to be almost Terraform experts, like we were able to like read the documentation and able to figure things out. So that's what we're working on. Let me do this real quick in case. Okay. So that's what we're working on. And with Terraform on Sundays, so tune in for that if you are interested in infrastructure as code, being a DevOps engineer. That's going to be our next course of action, is getting into DevOps and deployments and stuff like that, Ansible, Packer, more Terraform, things like that. So definitely tune in, join us for the ride, all right? Tuesday nights, we have our Q&A sessions, what we're doing right now. But this is a special Tuesday night because it is our monthly cybersecurity Q&A. With Socks, so he'll be joining us soon. And then we have our Thursday nights, more software explorations. This Thursday, we're going to be continuing configuring Selenium, Cypress, and Playwright, working on Jared from Calculus Coders, his app, his Free Mind Recovery app. Check it out, freemindrecovery.com. So we're adding tests to it, giving feedback on how the coding can be more conducive to software testing. So join us for that. So many things to learn from, so many strategies. So I just try to put out so many different opportunities for you to grow, right? So if you are stuck in the same spot and you are not growing, it is not my fault. I put more than enough opportunities, even to the point of I wake up early on Mondays, Wednesdays. I wake up early every day, right? But I wake up early on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays to do a live morning show, Coffee and Kata, at 7:15 a.m. so that we give you some news to start off, and then we do coding challenges, right? On Fridays, we've been going through Code Wars, but on Mondays and Wednesdays, we are going through how to test AI, strategies to test AI. So we're using OpenAI. We're using the Chaos Camp Challenge. Check out the Chaos Camp GitHub, right? But we're doing so much over there, and so I put out so much information for you to learn from. So if you're not learning, it is not my fault, right? Not my fault. So let's keep that in mind, all right? So so one more time, our live show, right? Sunday afternoons, software explorations. We're going through Terraform. Tuesday nights are Q&A sessions. Thursday nights, software explorations. We're going through automation. We're trying to keep Thursdays focused on QA, but it might vary from time to time. And then we have our morning show, Coffee and Kata, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7:15 a.m. All right. So that is our live shows. Now let's transition to our pre-recorded content. All right. All right. So we have on Mondays, Candid Conversations. This past Monday, we're talking about how your life is your business and you should treat it as such. All right. So if you haven't watched that, I would highly recommend you go check that out. It has so many pointers on how to structure it, with the meaning of your life being a business in all situations, right? The way that you show up to work, that's a business. The way that you do whatever extracurricular activities, you should treat it as a business. Even when you sleep, that's a business. Your relationships, that's a business. Think about it like that, and you will see how much structure and how much more efficient you will be in your life, making the right decisions, right? Wednesdays, we have software explorations, concepts and overviews. Tomorrow, we have part 3 of our comparison between Selenium, Cypress, and Playwright coming out. We're going to be talking about parallel testing and their capabilities. So check that out. And then Fridays, we have the bug bite. We are going to be reviewing a little bit more about Tesla this coming Friday. So check that out. And then throughout the week, this week in particular, we've had 2 Q&A videos, one at 10 a.m. and one at 3 p.m., where we are releasing the clips from last month's cybersecurity show. So check that out this week, but normally it's at 3 p.m. We have a clip from the Q&A shows, right? So check that out. Something for everyone, okay? So we look forward to you checking out the pre-recorded content. So one more time, Mondays, Candid Conversations, Wednesdays, Software Explorations, Fridays, the Bug Bite, and then throughout the week we have clips from our Q&A show, as well as clips from other streams as well. So definitely check that out. All right. So that is our live show schedule. Next up on deck, check out the Chaos Camp GitHub so you can have some real world software development and QA situations. So many people say, oh, I don't know what project to do. I don't have experience. Well, my good friend Don has taken the time to create challenges, real life scenarios that like a lot of us that we've been through, like that I've been through, that Don has been through, and we put it in a way that you can get that same experience and you can ask us questions and everything like that. So go ahead and try out a Chaos Camp challenge. Go ahead and level up your development skills and your QA skills. All right. So that's that. And then lastly, in these announcements, right, go ahead and check out Socks's breakdown of his roadmap into QA. It is on his channel. So check that out. His Tech Takeover has already shared his channel, right? So go ahead and subscribe to his channel and check out the videos that he has. They are gold for the cybersecurity industry. All right. So that is our announcements today. All right. Now let me check the chat real quick, right? And then we will. We have some time, right? We have about 12 minutes before we join Socks. So we will talk about some stuff real quick. So first and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to my brother, Operation Tech Takeover. So much support, right? I've known him for like maybe a month and a half, almost 2 months, and he supports like no other. So definitely appreciate Operation Tech Takeover.
I appreciate you.
And of course, don't forget to like the video, like the stream, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the notification bell as Tech Takeover has instructed, all right? And of course, show some love to Sock's channel. Do the same exact thing. The link is in the chat. All right, now let's get to Sharon. Hey, Sharon. Sharon says, hey, Tech Coach. I didn't pass my ISC2 CC test. However, I'm considering doing the Google CC for now until I find a job. Then I will be able to pay for the CompTIA Security Plus. Your thoughts? So, first and foremost, about not passing, right? Don't be down about it. Don't be discouraged, right? We all have road bumps in life, right? And if you've ever listened to David Goggins, he has a thing about threes. It takes him 3 times before he succeeds. I don't want to take you 3 times, but the point is that a lot of times, like we have to go through failure in order to see success, right? And at the end of the day, our failure becomes our success story. So, when Socks comes up, I will bring that back up. So see his thoughts about it. He can give way better insight on like the right course of action. And there's actually a question tonight that we're going to be addressing about that. But I'll circle back to that. And if I don't circle back, just put another chat in there so I can make sure I get back to it. Or you can just put the same comment so I can make sure I get back to it. But definitely Socks is going to be a much better resource to answer that question. But the most important part is don't beat yourself up. Don't get down. You just have to go back to the drawing board and whichever route you go, study and like I was talking about the beta testing, you can, let me see. When Socks gets on, we'll get the email address that you should send the email to become a beta tester, and we'll talk about it some more, right? So, but don't get yourself down. It's just a part of your story that you're writing, all right? So don't worry. And Sharon says, "My bad. How are you doing? Hope all is well. I am doing phenomenal. Training for a competition at the beginning of February. So, staying busy, working, coaching, all of that good stuff. But it's funny that you said, "My bad. How are you doing? Hope all is well." So, in like my community, like I mean, I don't know if it's my community, but at least with a lot of my family members, right? When they'll be talking to each other, they had no business. The very first thing is they had no business, and after they finish talking about business, like it might be like 30 minutes later, then it's like, "Oh, so how you doing?" Right? But so trust me, my number one concern is that you're in a good spot and that we can help you and add value. So all is well. All right. So don't worry about that. And there goes Tech Takeover, always showing support, saying, "Keep your head up, Sharon. Keep studying, shake this off, and you will get it when the time is right." I love it. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Where have you been? So, my good friend Natasha is back. She says, "Supporting the new generation of tech and knowledge experts. Shout out to Socks." Welcome back, Natasha. That's all I can say. Welcome back. All right. I have missed you a lot. All right. So, so happy to have you back. All right. So, and Sharon says, "Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you." You know what? I appreciate you too.
I appreciate you.
All righty then. So, okay, we have some time before Socks turn. All right. So, I'll go with this story, right? And then if I have time, I'll share the second story. But so I'm coaching, right? And I just recently got a new I just got a new barbarian, right? And they went to a boot camp earlier last year, and so learn about like the basics of software testing and stuff like that, right? However, when I'm coaching, I don't like I've never been to like a formal boot camp, whether online or in person or anything like that. But so I've taken like plenty of Udemy courses, but I was already well established into the QA industry and stuff like that. Was a web developer before getting into QA, and I've been working since I started working at a web hosting company back in 2005 as technical support, and just grew from there, right? Learned a lot of things about web design, web hosting, so I can do a lot of configurations, stuff like that. That's why a lot of times I'm able to navigate through AWS, right? But what happens is like a lot of times, like in the boot camps, they'll just give you exactly what you need, right? And to do like maybe development or QA or something like that, but they don't teach you about the different tools. Like they don't teach you about Jira. They don't teach you about how to properly use GitHub. They don't teach you about how to switch branches, the softwares that you're using, pull requests, stuff like that. Like just having that understanding and that mindset of how to work with people, right? So the way that I structure my coaching, especially if it's someone who is new to the field, they don't have like they're looking for a job, right? I say, okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna put you in a work environment. There's no oh, you're going to be like just the same. And this is what happens in the boot camps, right? It becomes the same. Like they have these cohorts of people, right? Cohorts of people, and they end up doing the same exact thing on the same exact site, and there's nothing new. And there's no growth. There's no real learning. Like you're exposed to something new, but it's not really useful because you're not going to use it out there in the real world anyways, right? So then it becomes like thousands and thousands of people applying for the same jobs and no one's getting anything. And then you go on LinkedIn and the people are like so frustrated, begging for jobs and stuff like that. I don't believe in begging for anything, right? I don't beg for anything. Like if I need something, if I want something, I'm gonna go out there and I'm going to find out what I need to get it, and then I'm going to gain the necessary skills and go from there, right? So the reason I'm saying this is um when I'm coaching, like we're building an application, right, from scratch. And, people cycle in, cycle out. We'll talk about that another time. But people cycle in, like, they get really hot and they're like, oh yeah, I want to be the best and I want to learn and stuff like that. And then life happens to them or something like that. And they cycle out, just like a job. We have what's that word I'm looking for? Like I can't remember it, but like people leave, people come, whatever, right? So I'm always getting new people in, and so I gotta ramp them up and stuff like that. So what happens is, so this person they did a boot camp, but now we're getting down to the nitty gritty of like, all right, here is Jira, here's the story, and it's like they're not sure like how any of this stuff works, and I'm like, all right, so now what I do is I took the time and impromptu, like, oh, like, do you have time today? Yep. I say, this is the time that we're going to work on it. And I went and there you go, burnout, high turnover. Yeah, exactly. Turnover. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Natasha. So what I do is I go and I'm like, all right, we're going to go navigate through the stories in Jira, right? And this is how you assign it. This is creating subtasks and stuff like that. Now we're going to go over and we're going to go to GitHub, and this is how you're going to clone the repo, switch the branch, right? This is how you're going to start up the application locally. This is how you using Docker and stuff like that. So I'm walking them through the stuff that you'll be doing in a real world environment. Because let's say you go to a boot camp and you're like, you know how to do this and you know how to do that, right? And then you get to the job and they're like, all right, this is what we need you to do. And you're like, I never did this part before. And now they have to hold your hand for something you should already know, right? Like you're not an intern. Like you should already know this stuff. You on your resume, you said you did an internship. How come you didn't learn how to do this stuff, right? Because when we have internships at the companies that I worked for, they're just like any other employee, right? They're still learning and stuff like that, and we have more grace to them, but we treat them just like any other employee, right? Like here's what you have to do, stuff like that, right? So that's why I'm saying that. Like we have to like. Give me 1 second. So yeah, Socks is here. I'm about to join him real quick, right? But what I'm saying is that I take the time to walk them through the process of like how you're gonna do it at work, because I'm not gonna like, oh, just do this, just do that, or just take this course and nothing like that. I have them take courses and we work on it. We set goals and stuff like that. But I want you to have this real work environment, and that is what that's what I'm working on, so that you like when you get into work, you can hit the ground running. You can have things to talk about in your you can have things to talk about in the interview to show real work, So I just wanted to share that story about like when you have the like certain type of like education and stuff like that, how it's not enough. You still have to get ready to work in the real world, and that's what I'm trying to offer those who are in my coaching group. All right, so Socks is here. We're gonna go join him, and cool. All right, so give me a second to join Socks. Give me a second.
The information.
All right.
For cyber, what is it? Cyber Q&A today. I'll be joined here today with my friend, Tech Coach Ralph, and let's get started.
All right.
If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Great.
Can you hear me?
As I cannot hear you.
A second.
All right, guys. Tonight is a really special opportunity that I'm going to have to not only engage with Tech Coach Ralph on Cyber Q&A, but also talk a little bit about one of the programs, one of the offerings that I've been spending tireless hours on, which is called Sox University. Um, we're going to take some time. We're going to go through a few demo courses so that we can get a little bit of familiarity on the platform, and from there, we'll be able to move from there.
Can you hear me now?
It looks like I'm
Can you hear
being
me?
eaten up by the internet a little bit. So let me go here. Give me 1 second. Of course, I didn't pray to the demo gods today. Therefore, I have a little bit of lag, but we're okay. I'm doing well. What's going on over there, Tech Coach Ralph?
Just checking if you can hear me. No? All right, I'm gonna come down and come back up. All right.
I am not hearing you for some reason, and I'm unsure as to why. I believe it's on my end. Let me double check. Speakers.
All right. Having some technical difficulties with socks. Let me check. Let me go back in and see how it is. All right, we should be good now. How about now? Can you hear me?
It definitely may be on my end.
Yeah, it's on your end. Because I checked the
Okay.
settings and I'm good.
Oh, I can't hear you clearly. I got you're coming through the wrong speaker though. Hold on.
And all right. So let me see if I can put it in this chat. Let me see. It has been a very, very busy day, people.
Okay, let's proceed there.
Let's try that. All right. Can you hear me? Awesome. All right, cool. So let's join Socks again. He can hear me now. Feel like it's a Verizon commercial. All right, let me fix.
I think that's both of us having a little bit of issue with hearing. All right. Had to tighten up my mic. All right, so you can hear me. Give me a check one more time.
Yep.
Okay.
All good.
All right. No feedback. You got any sound issues going on your end?
I hear okay. Let me make sure in my chat. Can you guys? There's no feedback on my end. You guys hear me? You hear Socks all right? You hear me all right? And guess what, Socks? Natasha's back in business.
What? That's so good.
and she says now you have a mustache.
I do. I need to cut it. Not too excited about facial hair at all. We'll continue working on that. Oh, I got a LinkedIn user telling me that I'm loud and clear,
Nice.
which is great.
Perfect.
I'm doing a little because a few of you guys aren't aware, but I have moved. So through the moving, we've gone through a little bit of a change of environment as to not only the environment, but some of the things that we had set up to deliver. And with that in mind, just bear with us. on my end, as some of the quality of the video is going to be a little in and out, as to be expected in the new environment. But we'll pressure through. We'll push through.
All right, so we're gonna get started in a little bit, but let me just finish up some chats that I have. I have a new friend on my side of the stream. It's Mitch. It says Tech Coach Ralph. What's up? What's up, Mitch? Happy to have you here. I've spoken to Mitch in the Tech Niche Tips chat, so happy to have you here. I appreciate it. And like we said, Socks has a mustache now. And what's going on with you, Mitch? And Sharon says, all right, the stream is working. The link for the stream is working now, and we are good to go. So we're ready to rock and roll. All right. So let's get started with so on my agenda. Oops, that's not what I wanted. On my agenda, I have we're gonna start off with the intro to Sox University, right? And just like navigating around it and stuff like that, so sharing what it is, all of that, and then we can get into our questions. And then midway through, we're going to be connecting to the learning environment, so you can show how a user or a student would be using it. All right. And we can start off with talking about the beta users that we're looking for. So let's do the demo, then we'll talk about the beta users, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, great.
All right, so let's take a look at Socks. You go ahead and share your screen, and we'll go from there.
Okay, all right. So where are we? I'm gonna go ahead and make us a little bit smaller.
All good.
Come on. Oh, that's interesting. Did you see the screen change?
No, but I think once you share, it'll change.
That's where it'll change, yeah. All right, so like I said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's go to home share there. All right. So I'm getting a little bit of echo on the other side. I think that's me though. All right. So networks is the brainchild of
You sound really low. Can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Now you're perfect. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I stepped away from the mic. All right. So Ephemeral Networks is kind of the parent company of Sox University. It's where we're going to be hosting all, or if not most of our offerings with regard to Sox University. You'll go to ephemeralnetworks.com, and then you'll go head over to Sox University here, and then you'll click Cybersecurity Online Training. From this place, or from this step, a key thing to pay attention to is like kind of some of the things that you're looking forward to, one being exposed to, or what capability that you're coming equipped with already. Let's scroll on down and kind of talk about the skills. So our cyber initiate path, we're a tiered platform that provides people access at subscription level. The goal of that is primarily to reduce the cost of entry when it comes to engaging into cybersecurity, and specifically just making sure that we're being very clear that we're not a certifying body, but what we're seeking to address, or what we're seeking to assist people with, is that point where you're trying to decide how to get into the cybersecurity field, and right before you go and get certified, or you take a boot camp or in any type of class, what we're seeking to do is get you familiarity. And because I own the infrastructure, we can pass those cost savings down on to you. So that's why we have like free to $10. The first few days are free with the first 10 days are free with the $10 tier. Um, that will then transition into, hold on, let me move us sideways. That's a little bit easier for everything so people can see. Um, uh, the $10 is kind of, get your feet wet. Let's see what this is about. The cyber craftsman leads us into more focus on foundational capabilities, understanding what's going on, as well as the cyber sentinel and the elite guardian being more focused toward those who have cybersecurity experience out in the world, and are just seeking to stay sharp or to learn more techniques, as well as answering the age old question. Well, I have these cyber security skill sets, so where's my targets? What can I do? How do I keep them sharp? And while it's always encouraged that we focus on targeting and leveraging our skills against infrastructure that we own, because I own the infrastructure that we're operating on. You can go ahead and have a little bit more exploratory, or a lot more free reign inside of the environment, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Um so as you can see, you have start here across all four of the different tiers. The last two are not going to be available, as we're continuously building and ensuring that we're delivering a quality product to those who want to participate, and get their skills on. So we have some real great partnerships that want to jump in and collaborate. So I wanted to create a little bit more space. So as we progress and as we get better, we're going to start seeing more and more capabilities and more activities for people to get engaged in and take part in, all in the hopes that you guys become just that much more prepared to ensure your success when you do finally take those tests. Um, so we'll go ahead and click here. And normally, you go through this process, right? This process, and each of the different tiers will give you kind of a synopsis as to what you're expected to learn and to go through. And of course, they're going to have to take down some of your information and some of your billing information. Now, as cybersecurity and future security professionals, there's a couple ways that we handle one of the things that's going on here, which is PCI, right? We're talking about the protection of your credit cards and your data. What I have running is a secondary corporation that processes it through Stripe, and because I use Stripe, they're able to use a gateway that ensures that none of your data is hosted on my infrastructure, and it's taken care of in the most secure way. So we're continuously trying to think of you as we progress forward. So um, that's what I have for this aspect. What I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna go ahead and log in with one of my users, and then we'll take it from there. How does that sound, Tech Coach Ralph?
Sounds perfect.
Amazing. All right, and hey guys, thanks for tuning in. If you guys got questions, please feel free. Whatever social media platform that you're tuning in on, feel free to drop some questions in the chat, and we'll get to them as we progress. We're gonna keep this short and sweet. We even have a little quick little demo that we'll share with you and get us moving right along. So right now, when you go to the admin page, every admin page kind of looks like this, except you won't be admin, you'll be someone else. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to log in as let's log in as admin, sure, or no, let's log in as Let's log in as we'll go with admin then. Bam. And give me 1 second. I want to pull up some of my other notes that I had on the other screen, just so that I can make sure that this goes without hitch. There we go. So you'll log in, and then as you log in, this is just pretty much the layout of everything. So instead of being admin, you would be, hey, Katie. Let's say my name was Katie. It'd be right here. And they're, of course, happy that you're here. And what you would do is, because of the tier system that I chose earlier, and I filled out all my information, that would be pre-populated right here underneath my courses. Underneath my courses, of course, we'll have, and because admin, have the most lovely photo that's associated with it, which you can customize yourself. And then we have all of the different courses that I'm signed up for. Today, we're going to work on SOX University, the demo. So when you click into your course, right, you'll have the name of the overall course, and we'll have also just a small blurb on what you're expecting to encounter, as well as the ability for you to click and see what you're expected to go through and see and learn, right? So here, overview with cybersecurity. Of course, some of the courses has video content that's associated with it, but most of it is kind of getting you familiar with the information and preparation for you to be able to move along with each course building on to the next. In future developments and releases, we're going to have more of a free flow style, so that, let's say you don't want to do this one, you can go back and then click any of the other selections and continue moving throughout. So you'll go through, you'll read, and in this demo, we have data, and this is just telling me, hey, what the learning objectives are, some of the information. Then I'll hit mark complete just here. And then, as you can see, this moves along to inform me of where things are. At the end of the course, at the end of each of the sections, there will be a opportunity for you to receive a certificate. I don't want to showcase them during this time, just because it's a demo, and also I want to make sure that when we do release, you get to be the very first person to lay eyes on your own certificate, and also cuts down on the possibility for people to just start creating things and saying, hey, I went through this, hey, give me a refund or something to that effect.
So, just looking at the topics of the demo on its own, like I can tell that it's going to be amazing content in there talking about malware, phishing, and this is just the demo one, right? So I can only imagine the actual courses that are going to be in there to get us started.
Exactly. The each of the topics that are inside of the demo, I was hoping to use in order to kind of give people a little bit of excitement, and not too much. Hey, I'm just reading this stuff. So yes, there's some hands-on activities. There's some real working machines that we're going to have our opportunity to touch our hands on, and some questions that's going to help us check on learning. So again, we'll go through that. And again, each of these topics kind of breaks down that information that you need to know. So let's think about this. You've never been in cybersecurity. Do you know what cryptojacking is? Do you know what, I'm pretty sure you've heard of phishing emails, but these are, most of my questions are coming from certifying bodies, or from my experience, in order to prepare you as you go forward, and then you interact with different things to be able to um, more easily grasp the concepts that your instructors may pass on to you. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I just like after you mentioned crypto jacking, I'm like, oh, I never heard of it. But then I remembered I just heard about it on Friday from someone that it actually happened to.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was a victim of it too
Oh my
a
goodness.
long time ago. It was part of the early days of Bitcoin, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So then we'll go to next topic, and then boom. So hold on, let's go ahead and mark complete for a second, and let's go back to dashboard. So if we go back to dashboard and we go back to our courses, like, hey, what happens if like I can't sit and take care of all of my studies in one go? Is there any type of penalty? Is there a way for me to keep track of those things? And of course, no, yes, there is a possibility for you to be able to quickly understand like where you have worked or what you've worked on, even if you break it down here, and even with the steps that's been identified, where it'll help you understand how much of a particular course you've satisfied. Let's go back in, and I want to check out a quiz. Let's see tools, and let's go back. Let's go back, and that's this is this. Boom. Here we go. 2 seconds. Let me drop this one down because I may have to log back in as another user, or you know what? Let me stop sharing for a second. I got some creds that I have to drop in. Give me a second. Uh-huh. Okay. There we go. All right. So in our actual
Muted.
release, you won't have to worry about this aspect of it all, but for the demo, there were some things that I had to work on. Let me get this shared.
So while you're putting that together, I wanted to share like what we need and what we're gonna offer for the next 30 days from 2 weeks. We're looking for some beta users, right, to get started. About 30 socks. What do you think? 30.
Yep.
So we can get like 30 beta users. You'll get the $10 plan for 30 days.
30 for 30.
For 30 days to go through it. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think. So, in the chat, mention that you're interested, and then send us an email. What email should they send it to, Socks?
They should send it to Socks at Ephemeral Networks. I can drop that inside the chat style.
Yeah, drop it inside the chat, and I'll put it in my chat as well. But yeah, drop us a message in the chat that you're interested, and or if you're watching this on replay and we don't have 30 yet, leave us a comment and send us an email with your name in the chat and with your username, and your username on YouTube or LinkedIn or wherever you are writing from, and we will get you provisioned in the next 2 weeks, and help you get started. So, and I'm going to tell on Socks a little bit, just a little. Can I tell on you just a little bit, Socks?
You can always tell on
All right. So
because that's my life.
So Socks is like a genius, right? But a lot of times with these geniuses that they they can't see how they can't see how it is for like us who don't know anything, right? So they like so I was like working on like I was trying this out today, and I'm like, you know what, Socks, this is like this isn't friendly enough for a brand new person. So I'm like, all right, let me help you. We're gonna revamp the instructions and everything like that, the UI and stuff like that, so it can be easy for someone who is just getting into cybersecurity, and they haven't even like done a boot camp yet or something like that. So in the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna be working closely with Socks to make it a little bit easier, a little bit, like make sure that there's no issues when trying to connect to the environment. And then if you come across any issues as well, send us an email and we'll get that taken care of for you. And so that we can have a great user experience and stuff like that. All right. So let me know what you think in the chat. I already have my first beta user. And on my side, like before you even came on, I already like, okay, I got a beta user, and we're gonna and I have a question as well. Once we get started with the questions, that'll be the first one that we go through, and we'll go from there, right? So let us know in the chat that you're interested, and send us an email to socks@ephemeralnetworks.com, and let me post that in my chat as well, and I'll show this on the screen. There goes the email.
Or we can do you know what? Stand by. Let's get them a better. Let's do.
You changing the email address on us?
Nope, I'm not.
Okay, just checking.
I'm not.
All right,
not today.
Put that in my chat. Ephemeral. Natasha knows how I feel about words with many syllables. So there we go. Ephemeral networks. Let's do. Oops. Email socks at. So email socks@ephemeralnetworks.com. Put in the subject line that you're interested in being a beta tester, and that and your name on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, wherever you're watching from. Let us know your username, and we'll get you set up in the next 2 weeks. All right.
And just a small bit of grace to those who are very technical. It's something that we work on, right? There's some things that you just want to wear when it comes to user experience, and it's never a bad thing to reach out and say, hey, this is a place where I can, use someone else that is far more better and highly skilled in this area. So I'm looking forward to working with you, Tech Coach Ralph, to get that UI UX, also the bugs on up out of this thing.
That's my life.
Not that there are bugs.
They're just undiscovered features. All right.
That's what they are. It's a feature.
And let me answer this question real quick from Sharon. So she's asking, so you pay $10 and go through the course. So it'll be $10 a month, right? For the based on the tier that you get, but the lowest one, it's free, like outside of the beta testing, right? Let's say someone is totally new, they show up, and they want to take the course. The $10 one is free for the first 10 days, and then it's $10 a month. After that, you get billed after the first 10 days, right? Yep. So that's how that's structured. And then there's going to be other plans. Like there was a $25 plan. Later on, there's going to be the I forgot what it was, 50, I think. And then but that's going to be later on, so you don't have to worry about that right now. So definitely check it out. Go. Is this site accessible right now, or is it like behind a? Okay, so you can go to it and you can check it out, see the different things that are going to be coming. But within the next 2 weeks, we're going to be provisioning the beta testers or the beta users, and then you get 30 days free access, and then from there, it's the regular billing that comes up. All right.
And
So
the quick thing to take away, and because people are like, okay, so $10 a month, what does that look like? Well, collectively at the beginning, which is that tier, you get 6 weeks worth of data, or 6 weeks worth of information, opportunity, and exposure to go through, to learn from, as much or as often as you want within the billing cycle. So let's say that you crush it, and instead of taking 6 weeks, you take 3 days, right? If you just take 3 days to crush it, man, you shouldn't have started off at the 10. You should probably start off at the 75 or at the 50. But it's also a live environment, which you're going to get an opportunity to kind of check out, that you're going to be able to take advantage of as well, so that again, you're not going to, it's pretty much focused for those people who are stuck, who are sitting down saying, hey, check it out, I want to learn these cool cyber techniques, but I don't have a computer that's strong enough to carry on the stuff. I don't have X amount of RAM. I don't have virtual machines or the ability to host my own virtual instances. Well, we've eliminated that requirement for you. We've given you, you'll log into the environment and the machines, and they'll have the tools that you need to perform the different tasks that you have. And we'll go through that in this check on learner right now. So this is a quiz. It's a check on learning, and that's based upon the previous information that we read. We notionally read all the data that preceded this quiz. And go ahead, Tech. Okay. Uh, so we notionally read all the data that was needed in the previous examples that I showed. So then we'll click here, and then we have a check on learning, which is about Wireshark. Okay. So within see within Wireshark, how are we going to navigate to export objects? And it has, A, go to file, export objects in Wireshark, B, blah, 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 C, D, and then the actual answer. So then, we'll drop the answer. Bam. We'll hit that. We'll go. And then they say, hey, there's a module prepared for you and on this investigatory work on your desktop that you will see in the IT department escalated information for you to review in a PCAP file located in the folder called Looky. Open the PCAP and tell us the website that the employee navigated to. In this case, the URL is not something normal users navigate to, and report the host name if you can, right? So in this case, I gotta fix that because the answer is shown here right now. Let me switch over and show you how we would have gotten to that answer. So inside of the course material, there's directions when you need to actually interface with the live machine and use live artifacts in order to come up with an answer. Let me stop sharing this, and I believe the coach had something for us. Let me stop sharing. Go ahead.
no, we're just following along,
Okay,
just interacting with the chat.
great. All right, so let me just share my screen. Which screen am I going to share? Let me move everything over here, and let me move some stuff over here, just so that we can make sure that you guys can see kind of what's going to go on my end. And Coach Ralph, I'm going to log in as you.
Go for it. It's not very cybersecurity friendly, but okay.
I mean, we share credentials around here. That's how things stay safe.
Of course.
That's my life. All right, so we'll go here. All right, so let's share this screen. Present. Share screen. Entire screen. Boom. Okay, so are you guys getting flickering on that side?
Yes.
Okay, let's not give people headaches. Let's see. Will it do the same thing if I move you to the other side? All right, you know what? All right. Let me go ahead and share this. Share screen, share window. Okay, great. We'll do that. Cancel. All right. So when you sign up for Socks Academy, there's a few things that you'll end up receiving in your email, and one of those things is a onboarding document. And that's what Tech Coach Ralph was kind of talking about when we address ease of use and overall friendly approach to the learning environment. So you'll get SOX Academy onboarding guide, and included inside of this is kind of what is required in order for you to access the remote environment. Now, I know that I went from the website to this, but I thought that it was very important for me to note that without having access to the VPN, you're not going to be able to access the internal network. So that's one of the security practices that we have put in place so that people can safely learn and not worry about having to be blocked using web interfaces that aren't approved for whatever wireless server that you or service that you're using wherever you live, and also providing me the security of understanding and controlling the type of traffic that passes through my environment. So I won't scroll through completely because it's some sensitive data that you'll be able to receive in order to proceed through the learning environment. But for right now, I just kind of wanted to give you a view of what you get to check out or what you should expect when you sign up.
Cool. So what we're gonna do, right? We're going to show the environment on like halfway through our Q&A. And but yeah, so this is pretty much your environment that you'll be using, that'll be provisioned for you to be able to learn, right? To get more familiar with the cybersecurity stuff. But that's gonna be when we go into our once we get like halfway through our questions, then we'll do that. All right. So let me bring this down. And I actually wanted to kind of a question from Sharon on my side of the stream. But she did say she sent us the email already, so I already knew I was gonna get her in there.
I think that's why my phone was going crazy over here.
But here is you won't be able to see it on my screen on my side, but here is what she sent me before the stream, before you joined. All right. So she said, unfortunately, she didn't pass Sharon didn't pass the ISC2 CC test. Considering doing the Google CC
ISC squared.
Is that what it is? I don't know.
Yeah, ISC squared. Which certification?
CC.
Okay.
Considering doing the Google CC for now, until finding a job and then be able to pay for CompTIA Security Plus. What are your thoughts about that?
So if I'm not wrong, I think that CC is cloud computing. Can we do a quick fact check on that?
Yeah.
And if that is the case,
Cybersecurity cert.
Cybersecurity cert. Okay.
Yeah.
So as you can tell, like I'm familiar with ISC squared for this monster right here, the CISSP, which is one of their flagship courses. I think that that's a good route you're gonna do. I don't know about the how the Google cybersecurity certification is going to tie into Network Plus or Security Plus, but there are some basic fundamentals that are important for you to understand. And I do believe that there's a lot of parallel that happens across most certifications when we're talking about the introductory level. So I don't think that that's a bad deal. CompTIA offers, again, I'm certification body agnostic. They offer some really great certifications, but I think that one of the good things for you to get a good handle on before you attack Security Plus is understanding like user trust authentication, user provisioning, and things like that. Those were some things that were important for me as I pursued that certification and ultimately received it. Some of those concepts are covered inside of SOX University, and what I could tell you for sure is that while we don't train to certifications, the knowledge that you walk away based upon going through the different courses will definitely better prepare you for some of the things that you're going to encounter.
So I just like just what you mentioned, right? We don't we don't train for certifications. I never like me personally. Like I'm not in cybersecurity, and I know that certifications are important in cybersecurity, but like all the stuff that I do, there's some stuff I could get certified for, but I never like really think about that because I'm doing the work, right? But going through the Terraform course that I've been going through and being able to like actually do Terraform stuff and all this infrastructure stuff, I was like thinking like, why don't I just get Terraform certified while I'm at it, right? So I've been thinking about it because I'm like, so then I was looking at some of the questions and stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, so once I actually know how to do all this stuff, I can just study to make sure I know like the some of the theoretical stuff, but I already know how to do the practical stuff. So I'm like learning like by trial and error every Sunday. People are seeing me like trying to figure these things out, going into new areas of AWS and stuff like that. So I always a big believer of learning the practical and then understanding the theory is going to be a lot easier to comprehend once you actually know like what you're doing. So I think that's great advice.
Without a doubt, and I think you hit it on the head when you said that you spend every Sunday getting at it. Like you got to build your own range. Like there's no better way for you to learn. I was just at SmooCon this past weekend, and for those of you who don't know what SmooCon is, it's a cybersecurity conference that happens in DC, and I took my time to go and talk to cyber professionals that I look up to, and they were able to really talk to me. And I said, what's the one thing that you guys would look for in a junior hire? And 9 out of 12 people said people who legit build their own environments and have an understanding of the different platforms that we're going to get involved in. So then I went a little bit further. I said, okay, so you're asking for people who don't have money to by Cisco switches. And, the retort was, well, hey, there's, free online platforms and things like packet captures and things like that you can use to get better at your skill. So, like, there are free resources out there, and I know it sounds frustrating, but this is how we get that technical understand, or that the practical understanding for technical solutions.
And there's also Socks University that's available to
There's
help you
always
steer the
such
way.
university.
So cool. All right, perfect. So thank you for that. Hopefully that that helps out. Oh, okay. So while we're here, Sharon also says I was only going the Google route because it was the most cost effective for me right now.
I understand that. It's also important to concern yourself with a term called economy of effort. Some stuff is useful, but looking at the level of effort that you have to sometimes do to pursue it might have been a little bit better off used in other directions. And I think that's the importance of our mentorship groups, Sox University, and just knowing people inside the realm.
And I'll say this, like without like I don't have that type of cybersecurity knowledge. I just hang out with the cool cybersecurity kids, right? But I would say though, like just from a practical career and work perspective, because I have tons of that, right? The type of jobs that you're going to be applying for, that go and look at those job descriptions to see what is it that they are asking for, what certifications that they're requiring. Are they asking for like are there a lot of jobs asking for the Google cert, right? Is it going to be able to help you get a job? What else is on those job descriptions that you might need to build on to work on? Because a lot of people think that just getting a certification, now I'm ready to work. But like on my side of QA, there is this certification called ISTQB, and I see people who are so crazy about getting it, but then when it comes to the practical stuff, they don't know and they can't handle it. So research, like the first thing, research the type of jobs that you want, and then build your journey based on look at 10, 20 of those positions that you would be applying for, and then see okay, what are they requiring, and let me build my pathway based on that. And so you might find out like, well, I can get the Google cert and spend the money on that, but there's not really many jobs that are offering it. One of the I was watching this video the other day from Calculus Coder, and he was doing different software stacks, searching for those, right? And he was comparing the MERN stack to like a Java stack, where there's like 20,000 jobs that came up for Java, while there were like 4,000 jobs that came up for MERN, right? So it's all about research and what is the one that's going to get you in the best path to where you want to be. So, but we can talk about that. We can talk about that later. Just wanted to throw that out there of also doing the research before you just go and start jumping into whichever cyber certificate. All right, so let's get started with our first question. That was our first question, but let's get started with our official questions. All right. Okay, so let me see here, and let's do our little.
Another one.
All right. So make sure. Let me move my clock away so you can see the question. And there we go. So, and this is very, very similar to it's amazing because like the question that I had, Sharon had like pretty much the same exact question. All right, but let me read the full question that we had. So, and might be able to get to glean a lot of insight from that. All right. So, the full question is, So this person, they passed the ISC 2 or ISC cubed or squared. ISC, oh my goodness, 2, not 3. ISC squared cybersecurity cert. How much more do I need for CompTIA Security Plus? Right. So that's the question. Like, now that they've passed that, they want to get their CompTIA Security Plus, but they like, what do they need to do? I think we addressed a lot of it already. But I'm just gonna say build some practical experience. Like the 9 out of 12 that you spoke to, who said have something to show, your own environment. So what do you think? Put the 3 minutes on the clock.
I won't even need the 3. I'll probably need like 1 because we already, I think, covered a little bit of it. To be fair, the practical reps, but also understanding, you know what, a good strategy would be look at your IC squared CC, go to the CompTIA Sec Plus website, look at the overall course material, and then look for overlap. And where you have overlap, pay attention to where you felt particularly strong inside the ISC squared material, and then focus on the places where it's no overlap and where you felt weak in the places where it was overlapped. And then do some reps. Go out, get your fingers dirty, do some typing, get involved.
Nice. And like a lot of times we want to focus on what we consider our strengths to be, but we need to focus on our weaknesses as well. So that because the thing that's gonna happen is, right, the part that you're weak on, that's the one that they're gonna be asking you on the questions and stuff like that, and you're gonna so you have to like build on your strength, but you have to like dedicate time to strengthen your weaknesses so that the same way in like security, right? You don't want to like not focus on the weak areas, and like now that's the part that they get in, right? So you gotta it has to be a full package. All right, sounds good. All done. Perfect.
That's it.
Let's wrap that one up.
I need a soundboard. It sounds so amazing over there.
Are you able to hear it good on your end?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I like it's I've been messing with it for like the longest time. Right, so let's go. Let me stop the clock. All right, let's go to. Let me fix something real quick. Give me 1 split second to fix something that's bothering me. All right, cool. Like I'm very particular to like quality. So when I see something that bothers me, I'm like, all right, I gotta fix it right now. All right, let's go to our next question. All right, let me check the chats real quick, make sure that there is nothing. And Sharon said that she agrees with us and will heed our suggestions. And I'm gonna reach out as well to get a better understanding. Because we can give advice and suggestions, but like without actually knowing the details, it's hard to give like that generalized advice. So I'm gonna reach out and find out a little bit more.
Feel free to put me in contact or send me any type of information as well. Like I'm more than happy to help. Like that's why.
And we got the email too, so we got the email as well. So that's gonna be just fine. All right. So if you're tuning in, feel free to drop us a question in the chat or a comment, and we'll be sure to address it. But we're going to move on to our next one. So this one says it's going to be about how do we effectively manage vulnerabilities when trying to implement a DevSecOps. Oh my goodness, look at this typo in there.
SecOps.
Yeah, DevSecOps. Let me see if I can fix it. Hold on, let me fix it. I don't like typos. DevSecOps. All right, let's fix that. And there we go. So, how do we effectively manage vulnerabilities when trying to implement DevSecOps approach? So, let's go to
Another one.
all right. So, this one says, so how do we effectively manage the vulnerabilities when trying to implement DevSecOps? Let's say we've done our scanning in our pipelines, etc., and we want to move to staging. There's still a vulnerability that's within risk appetite but requires risk acceptance. If it's granted to the team, if it's granted, the team has 30 days to remediate post go live. So a manual engagement with VM and risk at this point is overly cumbersome and can take some time to get sorted. What is a better workflow? Currently, it's required that the dev team will raise a request to risk accept via the chosen VM tooling. I'm wondering if something like Defect Dojo could help. I don't know what any of what I just read means, but I'm sure you have a good concept of it. So go ahead. I'm just gonna mute myself because I feel so inadequate right now, and you just go ahead and you just lay it on us. All right. I'm starting up the timer.
So, can you bring me that question one more time, because the risk acceptance and the pipeline is where
Okay.
I kind of lost.
All right. It says, let's say we've done our scanning in our pipelines, etc., and we want to move to staging. There's still a vulnerability that's within risk appetite, but requires risk acceptance. If it's granted, the team has 30 days to remediate post go live. All right, you got that?
Hold on, 30 days.
To remediate post go live. See, Socks is taking notes.
30 days to remediate. Post go live. Okay. It's already within risk appetite.
Uh, yes. There's still a vulnerability that's within risk appetite, but that requires the risk assessment or acceptance, risk acceptance. This is some deep stuff, Socks. This is what you deal with on a
But
daily basis.
requires risk acceptance. Shoot, need more data. To be fair. Okay, so after that, can you give me the rest of it?
Yep, it says a manual engagement with VM and risk at this point is overly cumbersome and can take some time to get sorted. All right.
Okay.
So now they're asking. So here's a question: what is a better workflow, or a better flow? Right. Currently, it's required that the dev team will raise a request to risk accept via the chosen VM tooling. Now they're asking. I'm wondering if something like Defect Dojo could help.
So, okay. So, based upon what was explained to me as the problem set, the pro-
I can't really hear you.
they have an issue. Said issue is within the risk appetite there, but in order to engage it, they're going to need to gain risk acceptance from the owner or from the system owner. Manual implementation is going to be cumbersome, and they're thinking that that another security platform or DevOps tool may be more useful versus the way that they're versus going through the current process that they're doing for staging and remediation of this problem. I don't, I would need to know a little bit more about it to give any type of reasonable input. But also, I'd like to be very clear that this is an area where yes, I would have some experience in, but not super deep. So I don't want to BS the answer and be putting out here bad information. But I would need to know a little bit more information in order for me to provide any type of useful data from that.
Or
But
if
if you're considering the utilization of another tool, that tool has that tool already been accepted um, within the current environment? Is that going to require a change request for implementation of that of that tool? Is it something that's already been used in some of the other business verticals? Like it's a little bit of information that I would need to know a little bit more for. But it sounds like a cool tool. I have heard of it before, but I don't have any experience using it.
and Natasha said an alternative to VM that can be deployed and leveraged within 30 days post marketing time window is what I understood. I mean, here's the funny thing, right? Here's the funny thing, because me and QA, I understood nothing really, but something totally different. And you're like, you hear it and you understand what they're talking about, cybersecurity type stuff, although you might not be like entirely familiar with it. Natasha, with her marketing mindset, she understands it from like a marketing time window point of view, So it's all it's all about perspective. That's awesome. All right.
I would like to have a little bit of time. If we could forward that question over, I'd like to give
Sure.
it some thought
All right,
and
cool.
follow up like within 24 hours.
Yeah, I'll send that over
Because
to
that's a
you.
really good question.
Yeah, that was a deep one, right? That was a deep one. So I'll send that over to you, and then we can revisit that. All right. So let's move on to our next one.
Another one.
Another one.
So this one probably be pretty quick, right? So it says, where can I find additional resources for the ISC squared certificate? Which I'm gonna say right now, Sox University is some additional resources that you can find. But if you have any additional, Mr. Sox, go
I
ahead and
was gonna
share.
say the same thing. I was gonna say the same thing.
So let me answer.
But
Let me ask the full question though first, right? So it says, so they plan on taking the CC as their first cybersecurity test, or by their first security cert by the end of next week. They're going over someone Mike Chappell's LinkedIn course and matching it up with exam objectives to cover content. So, what are some additional resources that they should use after covering content? Are there some best practice exam sources, general exam advice, stuff to that extent? This is our first ISC squared cert. They have no familiarity with their pattern. So, any insight that you can provide? I am putting 3 minutes up on the clock because I forgot last time. Go for it.
all right, so based upon what I understand about the ISC squared, they're like a light version of the CISSP. Um and so it's domain focused, I believe. So um I think, gosh, the understanding, the different domains and getting uh getting familiar with those. But like I had a problem with Bell LaPadula when it came to the CISSP, and I'm pretty sure the watchers and the readers are gonna understand what I mean when I said that. And also Star was an issue, but one of the things that you can do is, I believe, for me, writing and not only reading but writing. They say that if you write your notes out, you retain more than 30% of the information that you have. Also, a lot of people use Quizlet to do things. I'm a big fan of people, like, if you have code friends or if you understand a little bit of Python, building yourself a little flashcard thing that pops up every 20 minutes to ask you a question on one of the five domains. I think five or six domains in that CC program. um, uh, as far as like testing platforms and things like that. If I'm not mistaken, uh, they give you access to their environment. But one of the things that I would focus on is any material that you have that they've provided is going to be a pretty solid spot. And I think it's like if you can start to work on time testing, that time when you go and take any type of certification, it's about the pressure of time and how you manage your time can greatly impact your success, right? So if it's, I don't know how many questions, but let's say you had 180 questions and it was like 2 minutes a question. Getting familiar with that stress is what's going to help, or what helped me when it comes to taking my certification courses or classes, is actually sitting in and giving myself, you have 1 hour to complete, random questions that's coming out of the documentation that's provided by the certification authority or certification body. I know that was general, and please forgive me, but that's about useful that I can be.
That was perfect. It was a great answer, and you just gave me an idea. I'm going to build an app that's going to provide everything that you just mentioned about how to prepare and study and stuff like that. So I'll add that on my list of things to do. Cool. All right, so let's wrap that question up.
I need a sword so that every time you do that, I can just hold it up.
I think that's a great idea. All right, let's get to our next question. Okay.
Another one.
So this one is about these phishing emails are getting out of hand. Apart from awareness campaigns, are there any other ways to increase protection? So let me read the full thing and then we will get the expert feedback and advice. All right. So it says, so the good thing is, gladly, nothing happened yet. And I'm asking my employees to report any shady emails so that the Google algorithm can detect them faster. They're using Gmail. All right. But the text and look of the emails are getting incredibly good, right? The scammers must be using AI to get these professional looking mails, since I've seen loads of really bad text before ChatGPT got launched. Anyways, apart from awareness campaigns, are there any other ways to increase protection against it? Any spam filters, enhancers, or similar? And as I said, they're running on Google Server and Chrome OS. Is there anything that you can do to help us with these phishing emails? Socks, like, I don't know. What do we do?
Open them all and click all the links.
Let's not
I'm
do
kidding.
that.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's funny because I just got finished doing a recording about being fished. It's one of my favorite things to be. So, all right. So let's back up a little bit. So most inside of there's a couple different subscription services, or not subscription services, subscription services or artifact memberships that you can belong to that will notify you of known nefarious email addresses. So I would imagine that you already have access to that, as well as on top of that, you're also you already mentioned a really great thing is user awareness training. But I agree with you. The sophistication of the of Abu bad guy or the baddies that's sending phishing um, emails. They're getting a lot better. One of the things that you can always do, right? Because emails always or more often than not come with metadata, and within metadata you always have the resolving information, or where the actual email isn't anticipating or intending on going to. And I believe that Google has some built-in protection features that you can enable in order to identify some of that malicious traffic. Um, I do understand that we were heuristically trying to attack the problem and looking at misspelled words, or the substitution that a lot of hackers, or not hackers, that a lot of the old phishing campaigns would come with, like using a 1 instead of a I, and using a 0 instead of a O in the Google, and things like that. um Spam House has some information on unknown or reported emails that have been used in popular phishing campaigns, as well as domains as well. I understand that it's pretty difficult to tag down everything, but I believe that there's a few resources that exist out there that will enable your awareness, or to make it a little bit easier for you to pump into your firewalls and your WAFs and things like that, to defend against these type of behaviors. So don't open all of the links and click them. However, you can also ensure that your analyzers are picking up on links that are activating or resolving outside of your organization as well. So you can just it depends on what type of business you're in, but there are methods for you to be able to preemptively go against redirections from email links or phishing links.
Yep, that is. I'm not entirely familiar with the Google setup, like how like the Gmail for Business handles it. Um,
They have a product that addresses that. I used to run Google Business on one of my servers when I had at home type of setup to defend my kids. As a mobile device management setup that I built to protect the kids.
so Natasha has a comment suggestion. It says if they're using Google Workspace Small Business Solutions or higher, if it's a large firm, then they have access to integrations like Fish Alarm.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. So I'll be honest, right? I'm actually looking forward to the stream ending so I can go on Discord and talk to Natasha, because I haven't spoken to her before Christmas.
Man, same. Can I be in that conversation?
All right, so let's keep going. All right. Let me see. Nothing new in the chat. Let me check your chat real quick and make sure there's nothing in
I don't see
there.
anything
We're good
on
to
my
go.
end.
All right, cool. So we're going to jump into the next one. So
Another one.
So the topic is, can I get a U.S. security clearance when I have when family is from the United Kingdom? So I see your face before you jump into that one, right? Let me read the full context, and then we'll see what you think about it, right? So a lot of jobs in my area related to cybersecurity require U.S. government clearance, or at least the eligibility to hold it. I am from the UK, the United Kingdom, immigrated when I was 10 years old, and will be eligible for citizenship here in 2 years. I am wondering if anyone else has a similar situation and was able to obtain a TS/ SCI clearance. TS is top secret. SCI is what does SCI one stand for? Secret.
No comment.
All right. So now to the meat of the issue, right? My biggest concern is that my family is unlikely to give up their citizenship to the UK. Then you don't deserve a security. I'm sorry. No commentary. Though I imagine most of them will become dual citizens. I have read some stories that say they won't touch me with a 10-foot pole, and others saying that being from the UK makes it a negligible factor. Would love some more info on this, as I would love to navigate the next few years with more precision. So, Socks, what do you think? Can they get a U.S. security clearance, although they are not American and they are from the UK, which we defeated, by the way? But I'm just saying. All right. Anyways, let us know what you think, Socks. I'm throwing up the 3 minutes. Let's go.
I'm probably gonna use maybe not that much time. I would say, if you're interested in obtaining a security clearance, the first step would definitely be to first obtain your citizenship.
What if my family doesn't
And
want
from
to?
there, engage with the security office that will be responsible for issuing those type of things. So there's a lot of information that exists, but I don't believe that I have enough information to intelligently answer that question, and I don't want to mislead or misspeak with regard to that. But the honest answer, just going off the top of my head, until you become a U.S. citizen, I think that would prove to be extremely difficult. But that I can't say impossible.
What if their family doesn't want to give it up?
I mean, again, are we saying my sister, my brother, or are we talking about my wife?
I'm going to assume that it would be the wife or husband and or kids. That's my assumption.
Ah, okay. I mean, the in this day and age where the U.S. has partnerships across many nations, I'm sure that there's some type of conversation that can be had. However, I'm not a person that would be able to provide insight on that type of information.
I don't like it. I don't like it, Socks. All right. Let's wrap that one up.
I thought I answered it pretty fair I mean,
Very diplomatic. Very diplomatic. I was expecting like no way, not even with a 100-foot pole. But you said, it could be possible. It could not be possible. Very. Are you running in 2024? Are you on the ballot? Anyways, let's wrap that one up. All right. Thanks a lot, Socks.
I'm just saying, I can see it now. Hey, I went on this podcast and Sock said.
All right. So we are at our halfway point, and we are going to demo logging into the learning environment. So let's do that. And exactly, you see, Natasha gets me, right? She says, Coach has national security concerns. Yes, I have national security concerns, especially from the UK.
I have no comment.
See, you can't say that, but I can. So, anyways,
I don't know anything. I'm a humble guy trying to teach the world to be safe, one computer at a time.
Let's get into this little demo, and then we'll get back to wrapping up the rest of our questions. We have some good questions that we're going to be wrapping up with. Like,
okay,
it's going to be good.
Can we do this without it going crazy? Look at that.
It's not flickering, so we're good.
Yeah. So when you're connecting to the environment, you're gonna have to go to Sonic Wall. Here, let's grab a. Let's go here, Sonic Wall, and all of this information is inside of the sign up or the onboarding packet. Um, but you'd have to go to sonicwall.com, and based upon um, your type of operating system, you're either going to download Net Extender, and right now, because I'm running a Windows environment right now, you can install a Net Extender package, which is for Windows and Linux, or Mobile Connect, which gives you Mac OS. These also don't get confused with Mobile Connect, to meaning that it's just for a mobile environment. It's actually Sonic Wall's answer to supporting iOS and also mobile devices. So the way that things have been set up and been wonderfully put together, you will download one of these clients. In my case, again, you'll get a Sonic Wall Net Extender, and then you'll have to log in and put in your credentials. Not going to go through that right now, just because for the sake of time and security. However, we will log into the environment using VMware Horizon, which is our remote desktop application or platform that's supporting the learning environment, or being able to have people connect. So you'll download a VMware Horizon client. Again, information to get this downloaded onto your desktop is available inside of the onboarding material as well. And simply put, you'll click on to it after following the instructions, and you'll be presented with this box here, right? And this box will allow for us to either log in once you're connected to the VPN. You'll either be able to use this, or you can go into using the web client. So I'll show you this way first. All right, so once we click this, then you enter in the username and then the password. So right now I'm going to be Tech Coach Ralph today, because we share credentials. Let me pull off screen for a second.
It's only because we're besties.
I know. That's why we'll never be in trouble for sharing credentials. Okay, let's see. Okay, so once we enter in our credentials, you'll be introduced into your machines. You automatically will have a Ubuntu machine, a Windows machine, and another Windows machine. So for this, I believe we're FC. Let's go back. There we go. All right, guys. Let me exit full screen for a second. I'm sure you guys are just seeing black right now. All right, so
We're logging in. Nice.
So right now, we're logging in. Now what I'm gonna do right now is, because that's gonna take several minutes. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and kill that. So you just hit the X button, hit OK. and then it closes out. Same thing. Everything is added to a domain. So all that you have to do is enter in the user credentials that we've provided you, and you'll be fine. But what I'm going to do right now is jump into the back end. Give me 1 second. All right, let's make bigger. And then let's go here. Let's see. One moment.
And part of the beta testing will be like going through the modules, logging into the environment, making sure that you have access, and then like if you run into any issues, that you can reach out to us and we can get that fixed and implement the right procedures so that people who are actually using it in the future, they don't have those issues, that they are that like our documentation is clear and everything like that. Like I said, I was going through the documentation today, and there were some gaps that I saw. So I'm like, all right, let's hold off on releasing right now. And I'm gonna go through it again myself, make sure that it's clear enough for me to understand, and then have some different levels of people who go through it as well, so that they can see like, is it easy for them to understand? Is it easy for them to have access? Because I think especially when people are transitioning into it, it becomes especially like difficult, like with terminology that you don't understand and stuff like that. So we just want to give it the best user experience as possible.
Right, and also, yeah, just it'll be difficult, I think, to learn if you're also fighting the environment as well.
Yep. So that's why I wanted
So
to help out with that part.
yeah, come on. All right, let me get I'm just trying to log in again.
All right, there we go.
All right, there we go. Allegedly. All right, so
So right now, Socks is logged inside of a virtual machine.
that's correct.
So this is totally separate from his regular computer, right? So in case anyone's not familiar with what virtual machines are, he's in a totally different environment, and he is logged into a computer that is in a co-location, right?
Correct. It's
So
hosted inside of one of the racks that I'm owning, on top of infrastructure that I own as well.
yeah, so right now we're looking at Sox's computer, and when he brings that back into screen, that'll be a computer that is away from where he currently is, which you will have access to practice these modules on, do all of that good stuff.
No matter where you are, but right now I'm.
As long as you have access to the internet.
Let me spin. Let's start you back up. So again, not praying to the demo gods. We have a little bit of a hookup. Let's see. Here we go. Sorry about that. I've been a goofy. Let me move this over. Action. Sorry about that. All right, there we go. All right, so got the wrong machine. Hold on.
And while you're working on that, right, I just want to mention, like, and this is the thing with provisioning servers and, setting up environments and things like that. It's no easy task, right? Because they're like, you have to worry about, like, not worry, but like you need to configure, making sure people can get the right connection, the right credentials, things like that. There's so many different moving pieces to it that it's not a one man show. You know what I mean? And getting into this environment, you're going to see all the different things that like to get more familiar with what you would be doing on a day-to-day basis. Even if it's like at the lowest tier and it's basic, right? It's still things that you need to know, that you need to learn, that you need to be familiar with, and that's what we're being able to offer here. You all right over there, Socks?
Yes. I am. Oh, goodness. Did I lose? Okay. So, here we go. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties because okay. All right. Let me check the user. Boom. Okay, this student 01. All right. You know what? I might have to spin up another machine.
But it's all good. I mean, here's
Or demo.
the most important part is showing that this is what they'll be logging into to do their work, right? You don't have to show anything like super specific, but the key is that you're going to be logging into an environment that SOX owns, that you can go in there, and as you're going through the course modules, you'll be able to use that environment to do whatever it is that you have to do. Follow along the modules, and then that's the environment that's provisioned to you, and that comes with the $10 tier.
That comes with $10 tier as well. Yeah, for all of the tiers, you have your own environment so that you can explore it, learn, and get your hands dirty.
Perfect. Yeah, and I mean, where do you get that for $10? That's low cost of entry, because a lot of times, like people will they'll go and spend like $20,000 on a boot camp, and then like there's no refund on that, and they burn out. Get a low cost of entry, figure out what you're doing, and then go from there. So we're here to help you get into it and to learn a little bit more about what you're interested in, because every day we hear, right, we see, I want to get into cybersecurity. I don't know anything about cybersecurity or tech. Well, this is a good spot to get started, get familiar with it, get your hands dirty, and see what's going on.
Hey,
yep.
Coach.
Yep.
Check it out.
Hey, that's me.
That's you. So, let's do that over again. It went to sleep.
How do you have my password?
China.
Oh, China.
All right. So remember the last. Let's go back to our the what was going on. We were provided some information. Hold on just a second. We're provided some information that enables us to that was escalated from the security group for the test. Um, they wanted us to identify some of the data or what website the user had gone to. They also identified that in this case um, there is a website or a web page that was accessed that we're not supposed to be able to find. So let me actually stop sharing screen, and I'm going to present the whole screen, the entire screen to share there. All right, so are we going crazy over there? Yeah. Do that again one more time. Okay. All right. So our check on learning, the ID department escalated information for us to review in a PCAP located inside the folder Looky. And right here is that folder named Looky. Open the PCAP and tell us the website that the employee navigated to. In this case, the URL is not something that normal users navigate to, and report the host name if you can, right? So let's move this out the way. Based upon the reading that we had earlier, and if I can, let me see if I can jump back just because I don't want to go too far, but let's go back. Then lesson network security. Let's view, right click view. Okay, I believe. All right. So with the network security or network monitoring tools, my apologies. We have it's about Wireshark familiarization, launch Wireshark, open PCAP file, and even within this environment, you would be able to access your course material. So if you don't want to go between a screen on your local machine and the screen internal to the environment, what you can do is you can actually just go ahead to the ephemeralnetworks.com using a web browser. And then as long as you still have your login credentials, you just add them on in here, and then you can navigate and do your coursework within the same environment, the same machine. So essentially it's quite possible for you to do all your work inside of the virtualized environment versus coming out to your local machine and going back between. But we want to offer that level of ease to our users from the start, so that you're not locked into the limited environment here, but you can actually use your own personal environment to kind of take notes or whatever you want to do. So we're gonna go ahead and close that, and we're gonna go ahead and bring that back, and you can see within this content or within this module, it's telling me all the different ways to explore a PCAP file, or not all of the ways, but some ways to look into a PCAP file. And like I said, we notionally read all of this information, and we were prepared to tackle this question. So first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and open up our security tool here, Wireshark. And then as you can see during testing, I already opened it. So what we would do normally is go to File, Open. We'll go to here, Open. and then we'll navigate to the location where said PCAP file is, which is in Lookie. Click Lookie, go to Lookie 1, and then we'll hit open. And right now we're looking at the actual file. So a PCAP is short for packet capture. It's captured all the network traffic that was allegedly pulled from the network and provided to us cyber investigators to find out what's going on. And the goal was to find out like what type of website this person visited. Well, if we paid attention in any of our earlier classes, or if we got familiarity um, with any type of ports or anything like that, we'll understand that 443 and port 80 are two useful ports to look at. But also, if we understand protocols like SSH, SMB, HTTP, and HTTPS, we'll know that HTTPS ties to port 443 and HTTP ties to port 80, right? So what we can do is, and here we can, based upon what we learned in the previous reading, let's use some of the things that they said. So one of the things that was mentioned is that we can look at conversations and endpoints, and this gives me just packet information, but it gives me the IPs that's been talking inside. Always go back and uh, I forget the name. We could find stuff in-
So, Socks, can I stop you?
sort. Go ahead, shoot.
So, this is great, and I think that puts people in a great position. But we can't give them everything in the first. We can't give them everything right now.
It's true. It's true. Okay.
So
Well,
let's just do this, right?
I just got excited.
I know.
I'm just a little
That's why I
excited
didn't
about-
want to stop you, because I'm like, he's so excited and showing about this. But because guess what? Like most people signing, they might not even know what a PCAP is. So in the course content, do we go over what a PCAP is?
We do inside the course.
Because that's what
content.
I just want to know what the PCAP is first, right?
We identify what PCAP is, and we also cover popular ports and protocols.
Nice.
So that you would be able to follow the same level of logic that I'm following, as well as if we go back to. And thanks for interrupting me, because
You were about to go down
get
the
it.
whole rabbit hole. I'm like, you can't just give the whole course away.
So even here, like inside of analyze packet details, it actually tells you step by step how to explore the PCAP file. So you're actually taking the information that you just got finished going through, and you're applying those lessons learned. So to find out where the person may have been surfing to, we just read here, and then we see apply filters like HTTP, HTTPS, and it actually shows us how to go about doing so.
Nice.
So
That's
all we
awesome.
would have to do is just stop here. We could go here. We could go to export objects, and then look, HTTP. And this is something that everyone could have. If you have Wireshark at home, you can do the same thing. Hit HTTP, and look, we got host name right here, which is what it asked for, and also the packets that have been involved in said communication. And if, let's say, here, I want to give them a little something.
Uh-oh.
So
Let's
let's
let me
say
throw up a.
I'm running my Wireshark. Will it work? Or will it won't? Stop. Okay, I gotta select my talking interface, which is the one with the squiggly lines. So then I hit go. And now I'm looking at all these cool things, all these cool IP addresses, right? And then let's go to a website and let's go to our favorite Google, or if I can spell. And then let's go look at an image. Who doesn't like a good taco? Tacos everywhere. Block. It doesn't work, but let's just look at pictures of tacos because tacos make me happy. All right, and then I'm gonna right click and then I'm gonna save the image. And I'm just gonna save it in downloads, right? So as I'm downloading, there's things happening over here, right? Some magic of the internet. Let's just stop. If I go and then I say export objects again and then HTTP, because none of the information that I was communicating on used the HTTP protocol, there's no information here. So I just wanted to quickly show you guys that if you're using a specific protocol, that everything that you want can't necessarily be pulled if you're not using the right protocol, or if it's protected. Like in this case with HTTPS, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing with the PCAP file that was provided to us by the security group, which allows me to then go look and export objects and HTTP. So they were using an unsecured method, and now I can pretty much gain access and understand like what was going on a little bit easier. So we're gonna stop right there. As we continue moving, there'll be opportunities again for us to use cool things such as Windows. Gosh, I forget Windows. My brain is not working right now. Windows Process Explorer and Process Monitor. Thank you. In order for us to understand like some of the things that's going on inside of your actual endpoint, or what's going on inside of your computer, right? To try and seek out some of the crazy processes. We'll also cover some other things, which we have environments that's actually built, or other boxes or servers that you're going to be able to take advantage of to explore. Like if we just went to that IP address that was mentioned inside the PCAP, I believe. Let's bring it back up, and then with that I'll close out. If we just went back to that, what was it? What was that IP address that was captured? Let me double check.
It started with 70.
Was it 70 something or something
Yeah,
or
I think
another?
so. Yeah.
All right. Let me. If we went to, let's just go back. 1, 2, 3. 3. If we go to file, I'm just gonna cheat again. 70, 55, 2. All right. So if we went to that location, 70.55.20.51. Will we get anything maybe? Look at that. So we got really cool artifacts that's sitting around inside here, and there's some data that's in here that that's gonna lead us in the future towards some really cool stuff to discover. So I just want to thank everybody for for taking the time to check out Sox University and some of the offerings that we're preparing to bring from our home to yours, or from our data center to you, in order for you guys to get, better and stronger each and every day.
Nice. So, in my chat, Tech Takeover says, I might have missed this, but I assume this will work on Mac as well. Seeing how you can use the VM through the browser, I think I just answered my own question. SMH. So, you can touch on this a little bit more, but I'm on a Mac, right? And so that was something that we're trying to work through today, and that's one of the reasons that I'm going to go through the instructions and revamp it and stuff like that, just to make sure that we have clear instructions for Mac users and for Windows users and for Linux users. But just to answer real quick, I had to get the Sonic Wall Mobile Connect. I think it was I got
Mobile Connect for you,
and then I had to get a different software too, right? To be able to get to that test environment.
So once you connect with the VM, or with the Mobile Connect, you can connect to the VMware access using just the web.
Okay.
Or you can use the actual client. I recommend the client always because you have a stronger connection. But if people prefer to just not install stuff on their box, there is a possibility for that, with the exception of the VPN, which is provided by the Sonic Wall Mobile Connect.
Perfect. So if you are interested in a tester of Sox University, go ahead and send us an email to sox@ephemeralnetworks.com. And I have pinned the information to become a beta user in my chat. So check it out, and send us an email with your social media handle, and we will get you provisioned in the next 2 weeks, and we'll help you to get started. If any issues, let us know. We'll get that taken care of. But we do appreciate you, and hopefully that the modules can bring a lot of value into your life. All right. So let's get back to our questions. We have some really, really good questions coming up, and then we will wrap up the night once we're done with that. All right. So let's go.
Can't
back.
wait.
Let's go back to. We have some good questions. Trust me, really, really good questions. All right. So let's go to me. That's fine. All right. So let's get to our next one. We are going to
Another one.
So this one says, I'm the CISO director. Should I be reporting to engineering? It should be engineering. You know what?
Is it engineering or a engineer?
It's engineering. I'm just.
Oh, okay.
I'm a terrible QA person. So, all right, cool. All right, should I be reporting to engineering? Right. And this sticker's driving me crazy. Okay, so let me read the full context for you, and then we can get your expertise on this dire situation. All right. So it says. So before we get started, what is CISO? Is it like, what is CISO? What is it?
Chief Information Security Officer.
That's what I thought. The chief is under engineer. Okay, so I'm the Chief Information Security Officer / Director, reporting to engineering. When I first started, I said to anyone who would listen, this would be problematic since I work for the business, not IT technically. Well, it just got real problematic when protocols weren't followed by my own boss recently. They did 3 things in 1 week, which are huge security risks. I had to report them for one, since it could come up during audits, and that didn't go very well. They are the type to seek revenge. I really hope the C-suite has my back, but I think I need to actively start looking elsewhere. Any tips for dealing with this while I look? What do you got for us, Socks, on this situation?
Which part? Just working inside of an untenable situation?
Yeah, so they're saying, right, like they're going to start, like they need to start actively looking for another position because they think that the whoever their boss is going to be seeking revenge. So,
Hmm.
any tips for dealing with this particular situation of the security risk, like protecting the company for the audits, protecting themselves while they look for another position so they can be safe? 3 minutes are up
If I
on the
had
clock.
a soundboard, I would say run and run quickly. So
Um, I
but
don't have anything for that.
the only reason why I say that, and I said it an untenable situation, is because this person, he or she is correct, right? So you, you're in the C-suite, right? So what you do, or the information that you provide as a CISO, um, uh, while you work in tandem, or in some cases, side by side, or not tandem, but if
Adjacent.
you work in some way, the relationship should be complementary. But of course, like the chief information security officer, as well as his assets, should be outside of the domain and the purview, or the purview of the IT staff. I mean, uh, that doesn't make sense. It's kind of scary unless you have to wear multiple hats. I have seen it where you wear two hats, and that's just kind of what the situation is. I've not seen it with the CISO answering to IT. That's typically some type of indication of turmoil that has pre-existed before the shift, because that power alignment doesn't make sense to me. Um, but what I would recommend is, as you seek other employment, which I would recommend that you do. Um, I would not talk ill of the previous place that you worked at, but I mean, I would, as a CISO, you come, that title in itself states that you have a level of technical acumen that's not easily located. The biggest issue that you're probably gonna bump into is the pay issue, where whether or not the next place that you're gonna transition into is gonna pay you at a commensurate rate, or at a reasonable amount, um, that you're looking for. But I would definitely, I mean, you could take off the CISO and then just be a director, and then because I see a lot more director positions that exist out there that do more of the CISO actions anyway. So it depends on what you want to walk around and be called, right? To me, I'm just passionate about what I do. I have no aspirations for sitting in a CISO position. Um, but I do, I hats off. There's so much capability that you have. Like auditing teams. We just had some DevSecOps questions that popped up with requirement to people having to take on risk acceptance, because the risk appetite wasn't it sounded like the risk appetite wasn't in a particularly positive space. So I would definitely seek to be influential in that way as well. Like, they always can use people with that type of skill set, and I would limit my interactions, but also document, because there are reporting features that you owe to the business that you're employed to protect. I mean, if and even if you don't feel very welcome, just execute your job at the very best that you can, while also seeking the egress route. That's all I got. Can't hear you.
Sorry, my bad. I was muted. I was saying just by reading like how this question was structured, I can tell this person really does know what they're talking about. So Who would the CISO report to?
Typically, the CISO, I've seen them go direct. Hold on, I'm getting feedback over here. I've seen CISOs report directly to the gosh, operations, the chief operations officer. I've seen the CISO speak directly to or go directly to the CEO. That has been a really rare occasion, just because of like business verticals and how they're constructed. You typically see an IT director, and then you see a information security director, and then you have a CISO that's sitting up there. So there's a myriad of configurations, but the concern in this case is right. At at the CISO level, I'm implementing the security posture across the entire enterprise, across the entire network, as well as planning for future growth in tandem with my actual IT architecture team, right? So then I should have some security architects that work beneath me, that's informing me and strengthening me as we move forward with our security plan. It doesn't always work out like that, but and when you look at structurally how things could work really well, if you're looking for an 18 man, my IT department, is separate from my security department, because of the work that the security department has to do, just as along with you, right? You're a QA guy, right? You work with the dev teams and things like that. They need to be separated. They're not just like they're not going to sit down and do C# to make the organization run. So they're not subordinate to the IT manager, right? They have a whole nother directorate level, right?
Yeah,
So
engineering. Yeah.
when you isolate like that, I think that's great.
Yep. Got it.
So that
Cool. I mean, yeah. That's very good. All right, let's wrap up that question and let's start zooming through the rest of these questions. All right. So the next one that we have, let's go.
Another one.
And the topic is, do breaches actually cause for a loss in trust and credibility? That is a very, very good question. All right. So this one says, where is it? All right. So I'm always hearing about how preventing breaches is so important because it will devalue the company in the eyes of the customers, right? The idea is that customers will lose trust in a company that mishandles their data. This seems to me to be really just a myth. In my observation, the population at large just really doesn't seem to care whatsoever. Most people are completely unaware that their passwords have been leaked, or if they are, they probably aren't taking any steps to do anything about it. In fact, with the recent Insomniac video game studio leak, I've seen a lot of sympathy towards the company. These breaches happen, and once in a while, they might just hit the headlines. But more often than not, it's just swept away into the annals of history, and everyone just moves on. So, what are the actual consequences of a large breach for a company? They don't seem to steep enough to actually make much of a difference. So, Socks, any thoughts or insights on this? The people want to know.
Yeah. The first thing I want to do is say 5 points for amazing grammar and utilization of vocabulary. Annals, I haven't used that in such a long time, so I want to give a claps and round of applause for that. But I think that this covers something. When you were talking to me, I just was writing down things in my mind. And the first couple things that came in my mind was complacency and apathy is what that user or the person who submitted that question was pretty much talking about. Um, does it? People seem like it doesn't matter, and it seems like a fallacy. I'll say, like most things, it depends. If we're dealing with the environment or organization into which there is no other, right? Let's say Google, let's say Equifax, TransUnion, those guys. Um, I it's hard to see when those security postures are being shifted to the benefit of the overall public. Remember, these are giant monstrous organizations, so it's going to take time for those things to percolate and to get out there. Conversely, some of the best security teams, some of the best security adjustments and postures come out of these places. Now, when we start talking about at the individual level, whether or not people are concerned as to whether or not they have great password hygiene, I mean, I think the utilization of the term password is problematic. We should always be saying passphrase, right? Open up a book, your favorite book, and pick out a sentence, and that's one of your passwords, and you can continue to do that throughout your life, and it's easy for you to remember too because it's your favorite book, right? um and it typically meets the minimum password complexity, like 16 characters and minimum, right? um do people pay for this? Yeah, absolutely, they do pay, and there's hefty fines that go around, but it's hard to see, it's hard to see the pain, right? So think about it like this: if we let's say the IRS was targeted, and all your PII, all your information got leaked and breached out, right? And they paid the amount that they had to pay, so they paid that amount. What other punishment could you leverage without then also punishing yourself, right? So we got to talk about that. We got to talk about risk as well, or the passing on of risk. A lot of people believe that when you get this cyber insurance that you're inoculated from the threat, or that used to be a popular thought. I'd like to believe that we're a little bit more mature as a country, and as well as security professionals when it comes to things like that. And um, I like to believe, and I've seen socks and knocks that work tirelessly to protect against breaches, and it's not because it's some made up thing. Even myself, hosting Socks University, right? I'm a target, right? So I have to worry about how your credit cards are being handled, how your passwords are being used, and also implementing practices that prevent you from using the same password over and over again. Like, those are just the small steps that appear in throughout society that show contrary to how you and I may feel about people's concern with their security overall in cyberspace, that there's actual efforts being made, and some consequence to be followed.
So I just want to comment on this a little bit as well. Just because someone may not know any better or might not care, whatever the case may be, that doesn't mean that you should compromise the integrity of the work that you have said that you're going to do, right? So, and to me, like, being in like the positions that I'm in, QA, engineering, you in your positions of like different realms of cybersecurity, your commitment is to protect the customer, provide good customer experience and success, and with the mindset of, well, they don't care, so why should I care? I think that's the wrong mindset, and that if alone for your personal integrity, right, and doing a good job, then breaches matter, and just because like the mass, like you might think that you don't lose credibility and stuff, but if someone has to choose a product and this one is in the news for being hacked and everything like that, leaking 50 million of data versus one who has a secure infrastructure and stuff like that, that matters. Like you might not see it like in the like it just by looking, but all those things have effect, you know. So I think that you should take it seriously. Whatever it is that you decide to do, take it seriously. And your job is to protect the company, one, or no, your job is to protect the customers, one, and then the company, two, and go from there. So I don't know.
One more quick thing before you hop off.
I'm not going anywhere.
We also need to, because I heard the pain in that question, because I've been a SOC analyst before, and that sounds very much like a SOC analyst or person involved in a high pressure environment that's like, hey, change your passwords, and they're consistently being faced with people that's like, oh well, I'll change it, or I forgot how to do that, and just being worn down. And if that is your position, just all I can say is keep it moving, keep grooving. It gets better, and you're the reason why it does get better.
Yep. Yeah, they need a tech coach off in their life. So, all right. Let's move on. I had some other things, but let's move on. Let's go to the next one.
Another one.
So real quick, if you are enjoying the stream and you haven't done so yet, go ahead and like the video, share the video, leave us a comment, leave us a chat, subscribe to the channels, both channels, and hit the notification bell so you can know every time that we go live or drop new content. All right, let's go to our next one.
Yeah, help me get 75 subscribers.
We're working on it, all right? We're working on it. So this one is, can a company examine an independent contractor's personal laptop? So this is going to be a good one, all right? So this one says, all right. Hold on, something happened. Give me a second here.
Okay.
Happened to my question. Oh, hold on. I lost the exact question, but I know what it is, right? So, oh, yeah, there he goes. There he goes. So, okay, here it is. All right. So this person, they are based in the UK, right? So going back to UK, it says, my wife does contract work for a company. She is not employed by them, but did sign various security policies when she started consulting for them. She picks up ad hoc work and uses her own laptop to do this. The company used to provide a VDI environment for contractors to access a walled garden for the data, but due to performance, have stopped doing this. All right. Yep. You know, sometimes connecting to those environments, they go super slow. All right.
It's slow.
The impact of that is that they want to screen share, to examine her laptop, her own one, not the company one, to ensure it complies with various security policies. It does. I've set it up. The husband set it up. We're a little uncomfortable with this. I understand why they want to do it, but is it normal practice in an internal audit land to examine an independent contractor's laptop like this? That is the situation that we're in. Can they look at my personal laptop and, so 3 minutes are on the clock. Socks, you are good to go.
So I'll do my best to to stay inside 3 minutes. But okay, so you're in the UK. I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, the GDPR and the different regulatory practices that happen over there are a little different than what happens over here. I would offer that inside the initial documentation that she signed, did it even give her permission to allow her personal device to access the company intranet or internet? um and because some businesses, I don't like it, they attempt to pass the um they attempt to pass the threat over, or the risk, on to their employees in this way, by allowing, that's the big argument about people who get to work from home, right? Are you now exposing your employees to risk that they can't possibly be responsible for or own, because they the structural requirements in order to operate um their machines, inside of a domicile, is not, that doesn't quite make sense to me. But I mean, it happens, right? um I, off the top of my head, anything that touches company infrastructure, um uh, is typically free game, as explained in the end user license agreement that they typically disperse, or they show up on the walled garden, or as soon as you log in, that you consent to the monitoring of all information that's coming across, blah blah blah, or the utilization of this VPN provides or consents for me to do X, Y, and Z. While there may be instances where they can't enforce it, I think it's a pretty safe bet to just not use your personal devices on company infrastructure. Like, it's opening you up to now, because you operated outside of the course of what they were expecting for you to be able to do with their machines, right? That can come with the installation, or the need of installation of agents, which is probably what they're talking about with regard to um, allowing or requesting to monitor or look inside of your machine. Like, I think it's crazy. No, it does not seem normal, but these are the situations where it could sound like they're in a place where they could argue a necessity to be on independent contractor devices when you connect to their infrastructure. So I mean, and if that's the case, then there should be some type of mobile device management policy in place, which allows for them to remotely destroy or to segregate the passing of customer sensitive data. So there are so many levels of information that would be needed to be possible for me to really answer this question with any um with more truth or more fact. But just based upon my just glance or understanding of this question, um no, to answer, is this normal? No. But you are connecting to the business's infrastructure. So they've requested, they did not demand, and they didn't force. So um I think, it's up to you as to how you want to proceed with that.
Yeah, I think as well. It all comes down to the contract that you signed as well, right? Um,
Yep.
like that's what, if it's in the contract, then in the agreement, then that's one thing, as well as, I mean, companies that I worked for, like when you connect um to the accounts, like it'll show that um they have, like, because like when I'm on my work computer, right, it says, oh, like they have control to access, like not access, but like
Remote
they have,
access.
not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily for remote access, but it's like they have power over this device, right? And so it's like if you're logging in with your personal device, it's like you're giving them some type of control over your device as well, because you're connecting to their information, and because of their security risks, they have to protect themselves, you know. So it just depends at the end of the day, like the policies that you accept, and at the end of the day, if you don't like it, then you know, like there's you. So, anyways, that's that. All right.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this one up. We got two more.
And they took down their own walled garden. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they took it down as much as the person doesn't want to use it because of the lack of efficiency using it. So it can go either way. So because like,
okay.
you know, it can go because like you're logging into that environment could be like really slow while you can like VPN and still like have access to your machine and connect to. So that's how I can also envision it as well. So. All right, we have two more to go and we're almost done, right? So, all right, so this one is
Another one.
Oh my goodness, hold on, let me fix my typos. All right, so this one is, how can I get some shadowing freelancing experience in cybersecurity? And to give you some more context, it says, so I'm looking to get some shadowing freelancing in IR and MA. What is IR again? Really, this could be applied
Incident
to
response.
okay, incident response. And what's MA?
Machine. No, it's not. I'm sorry, my brain's not working.
All good, doesn't matter. Really, this could apply to any cybersecurity field. The best advice for path forward. So I've got a job as a cybersecurity analyst that I really enjoy currently, more on the defense side, and I mainly help manage one application for my company. I really enjoy incident response and MA though, and would love to explore the field further. Obviously, I can go door knocking and see what I can find, but in my opinion, not many companies would just let me rando tag along for that and be a burden. I've done a few courses on it, so I'm not a complete rookie. Overall, 3 years into the IT field. Do you have any advice for me, Socks? Any advice whatsoever?
Malware analysis is the MA.
Okay.
I
Nice.
think.
It sounds about right.
And that's dope, by the way. To be into those two things. And you just want to. It sounds like okay. He wants to go on some incident responses and do some reverse malware analysis or some malware analysis.
Yeah, either freelancing or shadowing to see how it's done, stuff like that.
So freelancing for sure, I could recommend. What you call it? Synac. I was a Synac Red Team operator before, and they have a dope platform where you can freelance, and they pay pretty decent. Where you can do some malware analysis and some incident response. It's a little bit. They do have bug bounty type platform like HackerOne, another good one, and BugCrowd. But I would look in that direction. There's another place I think it's Murdoch Industries. I gotta look again. But there are a few freelance websites where you can go and do that. If you check out, a good friend of mine has a organization called Cyber Dojo that I used to belong to. Cyber Dojo, they do incident response as well. So there's opportunity there, but I believe you'd have to be out in the DMV in America. So if you're not in America, sorry. And then also always going and getting those reps, because malware analysis is something that quickly leaves the brain. So just really staying sharp on that. As far as uh, going and knock on doors and getting hooked up with people, you know what? Also, Penacity, PEN ACITY. A good friend of mine runs that, and they always have red team engagements that you might be able to, and I believe that they may have some IR MA type stuff. But again, that's a Maryland, Delaware, DC type of deal. So I wish I had more options other than the Flare challenge that happens every year. That's hosted online for you to get involved with that. That's a FireEye initiative. It's a CTF though. That's all I got.
As far as incident response, do you do anything related to incident response?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would we be able to set up?
There's actually some stuff like that inside of Sox University, specifically some Splunk stuff at the higher tiers is some security onion stuff and some rule building in the lower tiers, so that you can get some familiarity with writing rules and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the shadowing part of the question, where, I mean, we could do a cyber shadowing session, like.
I don't think that that's outside the realm of possibilities, like a tutoring program.
Something like that. Or
Yeah.
at least this is like create some type of environment of like, okay, this is what I would do, and this is, and then they can tag along, ask questions, something like that. We'll talk about it some more, but I think that'd be a good opportunity, good exercise. Cool.
And poorly configure them.
Sounds good. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Like, let's put that on the to-do list. So let's wrap up that question, and then we get to our very, very last question of the night. So before we get to our last question, remember, we are looking for beta testers, beta users for Sox University. If you are interested, then go ahead and send an email to sox@ephemeralnetworks.com. I have the information pinned to the top of my chat, including the subject line beta tester and your YouTube handle or your LinkedIn or wherever you got this from, right? Let us know, and we will get you provisioned in the next 2 weeks and give you all the documentation you need. You get the 30 days for free to try it out, give us your feedback, all of that good stuff. So very, very good information in there. So yeah, reach out to us. We're looking for at least for about 30 people. So let's do that. All right. And if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to both of our channels, mine, Tech Coach Ralph, and at freerangesocks. And hit the notification bell, like the video, share the video, leave us a comment, interact with us in the chat. So let's get to our very, very last question of the night. All right, you ready for this, Sox?
I am.
All right.
Another one.
So this one says, did the CEO's soon-to-be ex-wife hack his phone, his computer,
Yes,
and his car? Okay, so let me give you some context behind this, because this is getting serious. All right, this is getting serious. So the CEO for the company that I work for is convinced his soon-to-be ex-wife has somehow installed spyware on his iPhone. He is convinced that she can see all of his emails, his texts, and his pictures. I think he's most concerned about the pictures. All right. This same CEO had me search his car for GPS trackers one day because his wife called him out for being somewhere he shouldn't have been, when all along she just found the address in the car's navigation system history. All right, so before I go on, right, how did this guy become CEO?
He must look really great.
Anyways, so now they have like a twofer, right? So any ideas how I can either prove that there is no spyware on the phone or his iCloud, or if by some random chance there is, discover it, right? So that's A. Or is there some other idea to quell his suspicions, real or imagined? So that is the topic. Do you got it? Like, do you need any more? Do you need me to go over anything?
Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. So Sock's going to get reinforcements. Okay. So that is a serious one, and Natasha is having a ball with this one. Oh my goodness! I am curious to know what the outcome of this is. Right.
All right, I'm back.
All right, Socks is back to answer.
So, the first thing that I want him to get is one of these. Okay. This is a.
Speaking to the mic, Socks.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. The first thing I want you to get is one of these things. It's called a Faraday bag. This one particularly is by Mission Darkness, but everybody makes them. This one has been amazing. What he's going to do is take the CEO's cell phone and put it inside of this thing, right? For 1 to 2 days, right? The CEO is going to be a little bit miffed, but put it inside there. You can leave it in the car, wherever.
Speaking to the mic, Socks.
This is going to block all of the communications from the phone, right? And he can go around and do whatever he wants for those 2 days. I'm not saying don't go to work. He can do whatever he wants. That eliminates the first issue, which is she paying attention or monitoring my phone, right? Secondly, while that phone is inside that Faraday bag, what I want him to do is also, what do I want him to do? I want him to go to Google and check and make sure that that phone tracking or the navigation data is not set to on, right? Because one of the things that if you share accounts or if someone looks through your phone, like your phone just pretty much tells like where you've been or what you drove through. That in those cases, it's just your phone doing what it's doing, and it's not really spyware. There are some things that you can do to there are some quote unquote anti-spyware things that you can put to scan your phone, but when we look at things overall, I look again going back to uh efficiency of energy. If he's that concerned, like you've checked the car and you've checked the phone, you don't think anything's on the phone, if he's really that serious about it, then just get a new phone, and get new email addresses, like forward. You can download all your emails through a client like Thunderbird to pull all your emails down, like no matter how many you have, store them on a hard drive. Okay, get rid of those emails, get new emails stood up, and then reach out to people. That's a pain in the butt. But like you have that. There's some other stuff that you can do as far as checking, making sure that the access to your phone or to those things are done by easily. Get something like some type of OTP device. It could be a one-time password device, or you can get a two-factor device like a YubiKey. You can change all your passwords and then link it to your YubiKey so that you can't open up or engage inside of like any of the email or services unless you use a YubiKey. It goes back to using two-factor authentication and stuff like that. Even there's a setting that you can put that you can go into your phone in order to disable using your fingerprint to unlock things, or disabling using facial recognition only. Like, not only do you have to use facial recognition, but you also have to use a PIN, which is something that was introduced by Apple and through Android, because people were having their identities and having things stolen from them there too. So those are some of the things off the top of my head that I would look at. I don't, if you're paranoid, you're paranoid. And they're the only way to really, to be sure and make people feel safe and comfortable after you've done that deep, thorough searching in the car is going around and, for the phone stuff, just swap it out and swap out those email addresses where possible, and then, keep it moving.
Awesome. Well, Socks, that was a very thorough answer. And the wife is probably spying on him, but not the way he thinks. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
All right, so let's wrap up
That's
that
unfortunate.
question. And while you were gone, Natasha found that question hilarious. All right, so let's bring that down. And that is our cybersecurity Q&A night. We had the demo of Socks U and logging into the environment. We had our questions. We had some fun. We had some very thorough answers, as usual, from our good friend Socks. Anything else you want to leave the people with before we wrap up?
Well, I'm hoping that people definitely decide to tune in with us on the beta test program, or the beta user program. We're looking for 30 people to get 30 days of utilization of our $10 tier subscription service with that mission to Sox University. I think that's a killer deal, especially when you're getting provided a wonderful virtual environment to execute whatever you need to do. And I also I'm really excited. I'm excited not only in this joint venture that we're going down and improving Sox University through the implementation of the cyber tool, Tech Coach Ralph. We it's just going to be really great to and transformative for the people out there. I'm really excited to be able to assist and to strengthen the national security posture through helping its citizens. So thanks, Coach.
Nice. Appreciate it. So I'm going to jump down from here and I'm going to wrap up the show on my end. And then I'll connect with you
Thanks for
afterwards.
stopping by.
It was my pleasure. And thank you for answering the people's question. You are the people's champ. All right, Socks, I am heading out. I will talk to you later.
Have a great one.
All right. There we have it. We were live for like it's almost 3 hours and 20 minutes. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I hope that you guys had an amazing time. Thank you for tuning in and for hanging out with me tonight with me and Socks. If you haven't done so yet, go ahead and subscribe to Socks channel. Send Socks the email so that you can get signed up for the beta testing. It's the real program, the real courses and stuff like that. You get like, I think the access to those virtual machines, that is like worth way more than $10, and you get it for free for like 30 days to help us get it tested and everything like that. And then I will be having a code once we officially launch. I'll be having a code for Tech Coach Ralph where you can sign up for with a discount. I'll let you know more details when we get there. But so go ahead, if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you can know when we go live. Like the video, share the video, all that good stuff. Hopefully you had a great time, because you know the question I always have to ask when we get to this point, right? And by the way, we will be going live tomorrow morning. Our coffee and kata. We've been live for like 3 hours, but we are not done. We have work to do in the morning. We're going to get back to it, going through our AI challenge. So tune in. We'll be back, and then we'll be back again on Thursday night. So you know how we do here. We always put in that work. So my question to you out there, is:
are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Is it not why you are here? To learn, to have some fun, to be entertained, all of that, right? Because I believe that you have to enjoy, you have to find a way to enjoy the work that you do, and you cater the work that you do to your personality, right? You don't have your, like, a lot of people are like, oh, it's boring. No, like it's up to you if it's going to be boring or not. So you add your personality to the work that you do, and you add the excitement, and then we have some fun. And that's what I try to bring you here every time we go live. We get into some deep stuff sometimes, but I want you to be entertained. I want you to have some fun, and I want you to take that mindset into the work that you do, and that we keep pushing, and you see how much further we can get. All right. So before we head out, Tech Takeover said that he enjoyed the stream. I appreciate it. And Natasha says she is, oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm about to jump off to get on Discord. She's back to her. She's like, if you're interested in Socks University beta program with 30 days of free access, email socks@ephemeralnetworks.com. Put beta tester in the subject line with your social media handle. Thank you so much, Natasha. So happy that you're back with us, and we will wrap it up from there. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 7:15 a.m. But on that note, this is Tech Coach Ralph with another monthly Q&A, signing off.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.